I got another episode of this series I've been.
But the reason I am showing this one though for NLE Choppa is because just in that one video he did where he was like, I guess you could say dissing young boy. If you pay close attention to that video and you can understand and read this shit and see the symbolism, all that other shit, you'll notice a lot of time in the videos he was standing on both the black and the white square, meaning that he has played both sides or he been on both sides type shit, or he is playing both sides. He's playing trying to portray the light while he's also playing on the dark side, you know what I'm saying? But even for them, they have the good side and the bad side, which is the black magic and the white magic, which is uh the left and the right, or the left hand and the right hand, or the motherfucking uh I guess you could say political party, the Republican and I was finna say Republican and Dominican. God damn it, the whatever the fuck that other one called, the donkey and shit.
Run entitled The Doors to Success. Today, we're focusing our attention on the Memphis recording artist NLE Choppa. Choppa's name's been ringing a bit since he'd announced on his X account, quote, "I'm coming out," which of course sparked a bunch of rumors, along with the fact that bro's been wearing some pretty questionable clothing and making even more questionable music.
Smell like this. I'm trying to eat that. I'm trying to eat that ass. Hey, yo!
But we'll get into that in a bit. For those not familiar to this concept of the Doors to Success,
Allow me to explain.
nearly 10 years ago now, Queens, New York rapper Nori, now known for his podcast Drink Champs, did an interview with DJ Vlad where he described his encounter with fame and what it was like during the peak of his rap career. For you young bulls watching the channel, Nori did have a fairly respectable rap career and sold more on his debut album back in '98 than rappers with millions of followers do now. I bring this up just to put into perspective the credibility behind his statement. Nori talked about the concept of doors one must pass through to advance in their career. He mentioned 3 specific doors he was presented with.
There's 3 different doors, right?
And
With one involving some fruity activity.
And a lot of people, cause I seen a lot of people play this video and heard a lot of people talk about this video in videos and shit, and they always bring it up. But he ain't even see this. He throwing that up. They ain't even catch that right there. He always been part of the industry, but even though that you in this shit, it's not like you just even though that you in, you know what I'm saying, those organizations, the industry, you know what I'm saying, of course, secret society, whatever, you still have to put in the work. You're not, I mean, you can't, you do get special privileges, but you still have to put in the work and show that, you know what I'm saying, you can do there, or you're supposed to be there. I guess you could say whatever. You know what I'm saying? They will put you in connections with these people, but you still have to, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying. But the reason he probably stopped being in the limelight is because he didn't take those doors at the time. Even though you don't do it at the time, you still could always come back later on to do it. We done seen a lot of artists do that as well, and he is one of them. You see, he ended up getting his own podcast, Revolt, on Diddy shit. Oh, do with you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but or supposedly he owned part of it or something. Diddy did, but yeah, they ain't even throw up, they ain't even see. And you could probably say he doing the pointing ritual. You could probably say he doing the pointing ritual too, because he pointing up. But he throwing, they ain't even catch the air, and he making the triangle, I guess you could say, with his fingers connected like that, I guess you could say.
3 different doors, right?
With one involving some fruity activities on some humiliation ritual type shit, another requiring some form of sacrifice, and lastly, the independent route. Now, this isn't anything new when he said it, and it's not anything new as I'm saying it now. People around the world like myself have felt this way since we were young, noticing strange symbolism with artists, them doing some questionable stuff, or worst of all, someone important to them passing away unexpectedly.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
And hold on.
Eve Online is a
Because everybody was trying to call Kanye crazy, but now look, everything that I never thought Kanye was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I never really thought he was crazy. I always thought everything he was saying was pretty much true. Now, on the other hand, like Orlando Brown, he do be speaking some shit, but at the same time, I think he might be just maybe a little. That might be his character. You know what I'm saying? He playing, but sometimes I don't know, but you know what I'm saying, it might be his character, and he really is, you know, that's not really, you know what I'm saying, how, you know what I'm saying, but yeah.
Someone with a solid industry resume speak on it only reassured me and others in these notions. But before we talk about Choppa and the doors I suspect he's walked through to achieve and maintain his fame, let's get a little bit of a background story. Bryson LaShawn Potts, better known as NLE Choppa, was born on November 1st, 2002 in Memphis, Tennessee. Raised in the Parkway Village neighborhood of Southwest Memphis, Choppa's early life was deeply influenced by the cultural richness and challenges of his environment, which would later be reflected in his music.
That's all you gotta do. Either he was already in it, like I'm saying, because you don't just get into that point. I'm pretty sure there's somebody he's related to, or his mama or dad was part of some organization. Maybe both of them. Because his mama was, they was both, like, I guess you could say managing over him, but mainly you heard about his mama more. You ain't really hear about his dad. You heard about him and his mama always traveling together, and that was his road manager, all that, or some shit like that, and all, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I think his dad had a part in it too. He was, you know what I'm saying, doing something, but yeah, I'm telling you, bro, that shit.
Reflected in his music. Choppa grew up in a supportive and close-knit family, where both of his parents played crucial and equal roles in his upbringing and career. His mother, Angelita Ellis Potts, and his father, Brandon Potts, both serve as his managers, guiding him through the music industry and providing the foundation for his success. The involvement of his parents, along with the strong bond he shares with his older brother, also named Brandon Potts, has been instrumental in shaping his personal and professional life. During his early years, Choppa attended Cordova High School in Memphis, where he was known for his basketball abilities. However, despite his athletic talent, his passion for music began to take precedence. At 14, he started rapping with the homies and initially just treated it as a hobby. But this interest quickly grew into a serious pursuit, leading him to release his first track, No Love Anthem, at the age of 15 under the name YNR Choppa. At just 16 years,
and I bet you before he was probably gonna become famous in rapping, he was probably supposed to be you know what I'm saying, either a famous ball player, you know what I'm saying, a talked about ball player, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure.
Years old, following the viral success of his single Shot of Flow in 2019, Choppa made a pivotal,
he just switched up his image,
decision in his career. He turned down a $3 million offer from a major record label.
Or he probably did, or you know what I'm saying. Either way, it definitely ain't what it seemed to be.
Opting instead to remain independent by partnering with United Masters in February 2019. This move allowed him to retain control over his music. However, by July 2019, Choppa signed with Warner Music Group to launch his own label, No Love Entertainment, marking a significant step in his journey as an artist. Choppa's education was put on hold when he decided to drop out of school in the 10th grade to focus on his rapidly growing music career. However, he did later return to complete his education, graduating from Greater Place Christian Academy in 2020, a milestone he dedicated to his mother as a gesture of appreciation.
A public school. I mean, not public, but like a private type school.
appreciation for her unwavering support.
Marketing is easy. This one even said we should get some fancy cookie pop-up, and we respect.
Now, it was after signing to a label where it became clear, at least to me, that Choppa was willing to do whatever it took to stay here. Some of you might recall back in the summer of 2020 when NLE Choppa announced his spiritual awakening on his socials, telling fans that he's no longer promoting any kinds of negativity in his music and was making a major shift both personally and professionally. He claimed at the time to be getting closer with God, and of course, people's reactions were quite mixed, with some saying,
and all that means is that he joined, and or he probably, even if he wasn't outside and there was somebody in his family that was already part of some, you know what I'm saying, something, you know what I'm saying, because they not just gonna let, you know what I'm saying, and once again, actually, they will let in, you know what I'm saying, but you definitely gotta show that you down with the get down, you know what I'm saying, because they will let in outside, but not just, you know what I'm saying, if you see how he and when he was coming up and he threw that up, the I forgot the actual, I'm gonna have to get the actual meaning, I'm gonna have to go search that up, but I forgot the actual meaning of it, but the devil horn, so everybody call it. So they seen that, and they probably sent somebody his way to like see if he was gonna be down with the get down, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much he showed that he was, and you know what I'm saying, probably joined. And then that's when that transformation bullshit happened, or you know what I'm saying, when they showing, you know what I'm saying, trying to do a spiritual awakening, talking about he getting closer to God. I done talked about this in all my other videos, how they say they trick you with this, with God, so they say Jesus, and they trick you with that when they use them words. And not only that, be that once again, the organization like Freemasons, they so-called have the same Bible. The reason is because they made it. So when they say excuse me, they going to church, they probably don't mean church like we mean church. And if they do, the only difference is they really understand the mysteries of the Bible and what it's actually talking about. They understand all that Ruth, Boaz, all that stuff. And I got some shorts of from this TikToker that cause one day, I ain't gonna lie, when I got on there, I downloaded it because I was like, I'm gonna start posting some shorts on there. And then I started I seen this TikToker or this YouTuber that reacts to TikToks. So I searched his TikTok up, and then I started going through them motherfuckers. And bro, I took some of them and put them on my YouTube shorts. I took a couple of them videos and had to put them on my YouTube shorts because it just perfectly explained. He just perfectly said everything that I be saying in my videos or was saying. So I had to take them and put them on my shorts. Or in my video, some of them went to my videos tab, but yeah, I had to screen record that shit. But yeah.
saying, I mean, live your life and let people live theirs. If he feels comfortable, why not? Another person saying,
And orange symbolism along with the butterflies. Orange and gematria equals 33, and it also means something else, but I know, yeah, the orange symbolism and the butterfly.
he's just doing it for attention. Me personally, I felt like it was a marketing ploy off the rip, and like I always say, time will tell, and it sure did. During the time of the spiritual Choppa era, he released a mixtape on his birthday titled From Dark to Light, and many of his fans were praising his ability.
Look, he's on the dark side and the light side, showing that he's either been on both sides, or he's been on both sides, or that he's still playing both sides, or both, because they have double meanings for everything. So It could mean both of them. You know what I'm saying? But
to mature so young
yeah, I hope he showed a video in here that I'm talking about because what
as an artist, following up the
when he was dissing the young boy, so supposedly
release of his conscious
because young boy know that what he's doing is demonic. The reason Chopper said he's dissing young boy, or supposedly he's dissing young boy in that video, because he knows young boy know what he doing is demonic. And plus he even said it in his own video interviews, like I think two, he said it in like maybe two, maybe even three interviews before, and y'all probably seen it. He said, but he pretty much said that he's demonic, and the industry that he's in is demonic, and the people around him is demonic. But so yeah, he pretty much he know what he doing, and you know what I'm saying, but he's still doing the same shit and pushing the same agenda. Now NLE Choppa, so called, is now on the light side, trying to push the more spiritual, enlightened, or illuminated side, the light, or be the Christ side, the Jesus, you know what I'm saying, but pretty much the light side. Okay. And yeah, but he's still in down with the group. You feel me? The Illuminati, the Freemasons, or whatever. You feel me? And once again, not every person in Masonry is Illuminati, but everybody that's Illuminati has to be a Mason. And so he probably leveled up and got to that point. Young boy too, maybe. But the only difference is he's playing, and Chopper is playing a light, and Young Boy is playing a dark side. But they still the same thing. It's the same. It's the same sides on it's on the same pill. You feel me? If you split like the red side and then the white side on the pill that you can take, you know what I'm saying, apart or whatever that you can split, it's the same pill. Now it's just two different sides. That's the only difference. It's the same shit, but it's just two different sides.
mixtape
The red pill, the blue pill. You can either take the red pill, or I think is what, I forgot how exactly that goes, because yeah, this the same shit. You could I'm just gonna say but it may not be exactly like this because I forgot which side means which, but you can either take the red pill and be enlightened, or you could or you could take the blue pill and stay still sleep, but you still, or pretty much you gonna be a puppet and not know what you doing and being played. You feel me? Or you could take the red pill and know what you doing and be enlightened, and you know what I'm saying, but pretty much trick other people still, I guess, or trick, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Choppa closed out the year with another song titled Protect, which continued to
But either way, you still gonna be tricking people.
display this quote-unquote spiritual side of Choppa. But in 2021, things took quite the turn, and that blindsided those very fans that thought he'd changed for the better. On March 28, 2021, NLE Choppa was arrested for multiple offenses, including burglary, drug and gun charges in Davie, Florida. When the news broke, fans were quick to call NLE Choppa out for the hypocrisy, as he just told everyone how he'd turn his life away from the very things he was arrested for. But
And I guess you could say that was one of his humiliation rituals or something. But yeah, yeah, I guess you could say that was one of his humiliation rituals.
man, did it get worse. After posting bail the following day,
But hold on, you notice how they could not have no what you call it, like no type of criminal charges, but once they get into the industry, they start racking up all these charges, so supposedly. Or even if they have went to jail a few times before they turned a rapper, maybe one time or two times or something, but once they get in the industry, they just keep on going back, and you know what I'm saying. One is to promote that lifestyle. Two is probably to make them seem more street credible, I guess. if they trying to play like a, you know what I'm saying, on that side or whatever. 3, they fake. Sometimes they say the artist went to jail, but really they not, and they probably doing some type of MK Ultra experiments or some shit. Ain't no telling. I
Choppa
don't know.
released a track titled First Day Out, a remix to the popular track Beatbox by Spot.
I'm starting to think, I don't think they might not get they. Well, I don't know. Some of them probably do maybe get you know, now I ain't gonna say maybe MK Ultra, yeah, MK Ultra, because they get like Kanye supposedly he released some text message that's his so-called trainer, I forgot, or whatever, but really his handler. What I forgot his name now, but yeah, he said he was gonna put him back on drugs and send him to zombie land or Lala or something like that. And playtime with kids ain't gonna be as much fun. So pretty much, yeah, they put artists on these drugs and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Got him on April 1st of all days. Just look at the gematria for a second. No, NLE Choppa matches with April Fool's Day in the ordinal ciphers with that 153. I see it as him basically telling people it was all a joke from the beginning.
You played yourself.
And it's also important to understand that those behind the music industry simply see artists as their pawns on a chessboard, to be used how they see fit once signed to them for whatever agenda they're aiming to push.
Some artists, they are puppets and they don't know, and then some, they wake up to what's really going on, or like they join the groups and they teaching them. But even in the groups, you still have to search for like the meaning, or you still have to find this type of information. And that's one thing I made a video kind of about this. And it's on you my YouTube, my video on how YouTube is a psyop, but they put this information out here as well, because if they, first off, you got to understand, they, if they didn't want all this type of information out, it's their shit, so they could scrub whatever. You didn't heard them say they scrub somebody off the internet or scrub their information off the internet. If they didn't want that shit on there, I'm pretty sure they can take this shit off. They wouldn't show people. The only thing is because they want this information to get out to the people who's, I guess you could say, special. They so-called call them special. You feel me? And once again, I'm gonna do a video about this. But so they want this information out here so they can recruit people, as many people as they can. At first it was like they want to keep it like this old secret thing, which it still is secret, but it's not secret as in the fact is like nobody knows about. It's just secret as in the fact that you don't know exactly everything that they do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it used to be in the old time, whenever, you know what I'm saying, 17, 8, 16, whatever, when it was first, you know what I'm saying, and even older than that, because all it is just them, it's the same cycle every time. So, you know what I'm saying, all it is it was there. And I'm thinking this over because I did a video on this too about symbolism, and I did 2 videos on this. The first one was coming from an actual Freemason as well, a Scottish Rite, and he was talking about how symbolism is important. He took it back from the cave days, and it do go that far because they was the ones who discovered fire and a lighter, so called, supposedly. And yeah, but anyways, like I said, I'm doing a video on that. But damn, I forgot what I was going now, but yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah.
Behind the music scene, you have a few main culprits that the fingers typically get pointed to, that being the Freemasons and the Jesuits. These 3 groups undeniably rule from behind the scenes, whether that be owners of labels, production companies, owners of major studios, managers, A&Rs, basically all throughout the industry, and they use artists, particularly rappers, in a unique way when it comes to the symbolism. There's often a ton of Jesus-related rituals with rappers. Think Tupac's Machiavelli cover with him on the cross. Think Kanye West and Jesus Walks, or that time when all the rappers used to rock those Jesus peace chains. You got guys like Kanye saying he's a god.
Yeah, nah, but and just like Kodak, why you got a Jesus piece? He don't even believe in Jesus.
Those Jesus
No, no Kodak.
piece chains. You got guys like Kanye saying
Actually, yeah, straight Kodak.
he's a god.
I just told you who I thought I was. A god.
You're leaving money on the table. Not because your content isn't good, but because the tools you're using weren't built to help you earn sustainable revenue.
Then going religious. Even Drake took shots at Jesus on his On the Radar freestyle. Or what about Kendrick Lamar, who recently before
I think it's he don't even believe in Jesus. Why you got Jesus piece? Cause then he said, yeah, if you want to lead, just lead. Why you got a lot or some shit like that? But yeah, y'all know the song.
beef with Drake was rocking the crown of thorns, which bothered a bunch of fans, but yeah, I mean, the list goes on. Now, the reason that this is done is due to the Faustian bargain they're making with the three groups I mentioned before. To avoid going on a long tangent, I strongly recommend watching my Faustian bargain video where I carefully lay out what I mean by this being part of their Faustian bargain. I can truly give countless examples of this rapper slash Jesus symbolism, and I'm not even trying to get religious with y'all, I'm just telling you how it is. In Gematria, the words Jewish, Masonic, Lucifer, Jesus, and rapper all equal 74 in the same cipher, and it's certainly not by coincidence. But with that in mind, NLE Choppa released the single First Day Out, completely contradicting the spiritual image he had been promoting. This came exactly 151 days after his birthday, the same day he dropped his conscious mixtape From Dark to Light. No, Jesus Christ equals 151. And think about that concept for a second, going from dark to light. Jesus is referred to as the light of the world, but Choppa did the exact opposite by going back to the quote-unquote dark side, if you will. Remember, artists influence their fans.
No, I mean he did, but he didn't, because it's still the same thing. And even though that the group, even they have the dark side, then they have the light side. They have the good side, then the bad side. It's the same. It's polarity. Is it that they have it, but it's even though he's still part of the shit though. It's so he didn't really switch up, you know what I'm saying, and go back to the dark side. But it's just that he's playing both sides.
Especially the young ones. Imagine what fans of Choppa thought when they saw their favorite artist seemingly turning to God, only to switch it up. 151 is also the 36th prime number, and NLE Choppa equates to 36, and his birthday coincidentally is on the 306th day of the year. Using the rules of numerology, we got a 36 connection right there, with his stage name and birthday, kind of tying it all together. But the real symbolism behind this project lies in the cover art and title, From Dark to Light. Remember, one of the three groups operating behind the scenes, manipulating your
And one thing I gotta say too is I'm pretty sure most artists knows this shit, because before there was internet, I'm pretty sure there was somebody, they had infiltrators, which they still do now, but especially then they had at least one or two people that was in that in whatever that needed to be infiltrated, which I'm talking about rap it right now, but they had some people in rap that were, you know what I'm saying, and to get this information or to really blow up, I'm pretty sure they was telling them shit on how and what to do and what to say, or what, you know what I'm saying, how to, you know what I'm saying, how to move and train, you know what I'm saying. Then there was, you know, or you know what I'm saying, the person that was the agent, or you know what I'm saying, whatever, he seen that this person really wanted to get in, so he went to this person in the group, or these two people, and got up in their ear and, you know, made them split away from the other people in the group, or made that person and whatever, so because, you know, he can be bigger on his own. Like, sometimes they send a female. I forgot what movie that was that I watched, but it was a movie I watched, and it was a group, and they split apart because pretty much the female got up in his ear like, you better than him, and you don't have to, and it was over money or something like that. I forgot what movie it was, but yeah, and then he ended up doing his own thing, and yeah. I think it was damn, I had it on the tip of my tongue, but I lost it. But anyways, yeah.
favorite artist in mainstream media, are the Freemasons. Their own symbolism bears a noticeable resemblance to Choppa's Conscious mixtape cover. This image you see here symbolizes the performative structure and purpose.
Also, just like Michael Jackson's, because damn near this, I mean, I'm pretty sure he got this type of shit. He got this style, or because y'all know that I forgot what it was called, but that was the only CD I have ever bought in my life. And it was a Michael Jackson, that CD with this type of theme, occult imagery on it. It was like the dog head sitting in the king chair, and then he had like just a bunch of different random shit on it was the Michael Jackson album
of Masonic initiation rituals, describing different versions of the Haremic legend and explaining the key craft degrees of Freemasonry: entered apprentice, fellow craft, and master mason. To wrap up this segment, what I'm getting at is that this project, From Dark to Light, was just a Masonic ritual following his initiation after being signed. The Faustian bargain requires you to give up things that are morally or spiritually important to people, and Choppa did that by selling this false image only to have deceived his fans. But to cap off why it's truly just a Masonic ritual, consider the label he signed to, Warner Music Group, which is obviously under the Warner Brothers umbrella. And for those unfamiliar with the Warner Brothers, Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack Warner, they were all Freemasons and played a massive role in our modern day entertainment landscape.
If no one ever taught you how to manage your money, or you're secretly ashamed of where you're at financially, this is for
On the 5th of March 2022, NLE Choppa and his on and off again girlfriend slash baby mama, Marissa Danae, announced the tragic loss of their unborn son, with Marissa suffering a miscarriage. I covered this story back when it happened, but it's worth mentioning that Choppa and Marissa documented their pregnancy journey on their large social media platforms. And of course, this type of couple content attracts a lot of attention from both genders, and from a business standpoint, it simply means more eyes on NLE's music. So of course, with the sad news, naturally, both of their followers on social media poured in to show their support and send their condolences. Earlier that year, before the tragic news, Choppa's career was on the up and up. He started that year off strong with the release of his third mixtape, Me vs. Me.
Do I smell a sacrifice?
Featuring the single Shot of Flow 6, which has over 30 million views. But with great success comes great sacrifice, they say. And in this wicked music industry, that notion couldn't be further from the truth. From Choppa's 19th birthday to the loss of his unborn son was a span of 4 months and 5 days, resembling the number 45. This matches with NLE Choppa and Ritual in the Reduction ciphers. Alright, this part might throw some of y'all off, especially if you're new to the content. But among the groups I discussed that have power behind the scenes in the entertainment industry, one thing all three of these parties have in common is their admiration.
And I do gotta point this out real quick. I don't know if that's his girl, who that is in the back, but of course the one, our symbolism.
The groups I discussed that have power behind the scenes in the entertainment industry, one thing all three of these parties have in common is their admiration and worship, if you will, of the planet and entity that is Saturn. Saturn is the father of time, order, and chaos. Christian theologians and other historians have documented how people once sacrificed their children to Saturn, and the Greeks and Romans describe how Saturn devoured his own children to prevent them from overthrowing him. In short, Saturn is a dark entity with significant meaning to all three groups, ultimately known for sacrifice. Now, why I bring this up is that it was NLE Choppa's child that died. And notice his...
And I done said this in many other videos. And I even said it in this one earlier. To continue the fame and shit like that in the family, or even for you, at one point you have to do, I'm pretty sure you gotta take both doors at one point, but I'm pretty sure you take both doors. You have to take both doors. People say you took one or the other. I'm pretty sure you probably got to take both of them. But yeah, you have to give up a firstborn. A lot of them, you have to give up your firstborn, and a lot of them, if you go search how many of their firstborn kids have died, can't be a coincidence.
Full name matches with the phrase Saturn worship and the Jesuit order, the full name of one of the three groups I mentioned earlier. But it gets even more eerie as Choppa's son's name was 7 Deshun Pods, which equates to 210 like the number 21, and the word Saturn equates to 21 in the reduction cipher. For those new in numerology, zeros are null. Think about how Saturn has 7 rings. Everything is just a big numerical ritual. In addition to all of that, his son's death was announced on a Saturday, the day named after the planet Saturn. And notice Saturday matches with the phrase ritual sacrifice. I mean, something definitely ain't right here. But lastly, his son's full name equates to 222 in the English ordinal, and he lost his son in the year 2022. All right, but now it's
And here go that other or
2024